And there we go. That is the recording in progress, lady. All right. Is everybody ready already?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. All right. Well, then, I guess let's hit it. Hello, hello, and welcome back to our humble little podcast. This is Atlantis After Dark, the greatest place in all of cyberspace. Do you know what the sexiest instrument I play is? It's not the guitar, it's the bagpipes. The ladies love a man to blow, finger, and squeeze all at the same time. I'll tell you what, I'm ready to go already. You guys are too. So let's not waste a lot more time. Let's get right into it and meet today's all-stars. Warming up in the bullpen. The other day, he told me about how he was a teenager and he went to the pharmacy to buy some condoms. He saw the price was $10, but when he went to pay, the cashier rang it up as $10.65. He said, "Hey, what's up with the extra 65 cents?" He said, "Well, that's for the tax." And then he said, "Oh, that's how you keep these things on." It's BIFF by Adam West. What's the word, dude?
What's going on, man?
It's just a little bit of blood, just a tiny little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No tax.
No tax.
No tax.
Very good. Are you buying? Well, no, never mind. I won't ask you. Never mind.
No, I'm past the condom portion of my life.
Yeah. As I think all of us are.
Yeah.
That says more about my age than anything else. Welcome to the show, pal. We are damn glad to have you back here. Up next, he is the gangster of ganja. He loves to hog the remote. Last night, he was flipping back and forth between the fishing channel and the porn channel. And this went on for a while, and it just made his wife more and more upset. Finally, she yelled at him, "For God's sake, just leave the damn thing on the porn channel. You already know how to fish." It's Sekju. Welcome, sir.
Hey, I share that remote. I am a conscientious spouse. Like, I watch some shit that most men would be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like,
24-hour Moulin Rouge marathon.
oh, there's a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race and some
Oh,
other
yeah.
dude that
Okay.
might otherwise not. But I will say that one's pretty funny though, and I am a fan of Miss Vanjie, and people who know.
Oh, no. I was dragged to the theater. I remember when that came out, and I was dragged to the theater, and I got about 10 minutes into that film, and I thought, what the fuck am I doing?
Wait, film?
Yeah, Moulin Rouge, right? That's a
Oh,
film.
no, I was just talking about random RuPaul's Drag Race queen.
Oh, well.
Moulin Rouge, you gotta love the part where they're tripping on absinthe. That part's good.
No.
No?
There's
When they
no
see,
part of that movie
when they
that's
see
any
the
good.
Green Fairy? I like John Leguizamo, man.
No.
Oh.
They can put anybody in there. That's
All I'm saying,
music or something.
Ewan McGregor can fucking sing. That's all I'm saying about that one.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't like the songs, but that man can sing.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I don't know. I
I mean, he's no Hugh Jackman.
I don't know. I've never seen that one. The Greatest Show on Earth.
You haven't seen that?
No.
Well, you're not really a musical person though, right? So
I love musicals. I love good musicals.
Oh shit, man! The Greatest Showman. I almost listen to that every single day when I drive to work because
Okay.
it's that good.
All right. Well, maybe I'll give that a spin. I don't know if I'll get to it today, but I'll put it on my list of things to check out in the future.
If you like musicals, I would say it's worth your time, and I think most people that like musicals would probably agree.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm a classics kind of guy, and I do like South Park, the movie Bigger, Longer, Uncut. So
okay,
those are right up my alley. So, but I will check it out. And speaking of things to check out, let's check out some DC content this week. And I should get like a physical gong to bang over here now that we're on video.
Just like a little one. You could get like a tiny one.
Little ting.
Yeah, well, no, it'd make it better because when you put in the huge sound effect, you have the tiniest little gong.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Gotta be some, now that you have video, there's visual comedy involved with that, right?
Right. There sure is. I should probably do that. That'd be great. I think they can sell those on Amazon. Pick them up pretty quick.
Tiny gongs. If not, probably your local Mac bid.
That's right. But I did want to get
opportunities for all you listening. No,
that's right. No. We take it. We take it all, I do want to talk before we get into today's big topic about a comic series that I just finished up that, God dang, do I highly recommend. And I said this yesterday on ABW, which if you're not watching, check it out. I'm very critical of a lot of things. And, maybe I don't have any right to be for some things, but that's just who I am. I can't help it. That doesn't mean that I don't like things. And that also means that when I do give praise for something, it's good. And I want to praise this comic series that I just finished up called Dark Knights of Steel. And I've got 2 volumes here, volume 1 and volume 2. And it collects 12 comics in total. And it is a Elseworlds story about, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's basically Jor-El and Lara with Kal-El land their spaceship in medieval times, basically castles and knights and so on and so forth. And all of the characters are there. Superman, of course, he's there. I can't spoil too much because there are so many twists and turns to this thing that I can't do it justice. There's a lot of really good. I don't even know how to describe it. I think that it is one of, if not the best Elseworld story that I've ever read.
Better than Red Sun.
Better than Red Sun.
Mm.
Better than Red Sun. And
Better
I love me some Red Sun. Better than Kingdom Come.
Wow. I'm going to check this out.
I love this Dark Knights of Steel. And I know Boomstam on the Discord server, which you can join, by the way, link in the description below. Boomer, yeah.
I can follow.
Right. That's right. Or maybe I'll put a QR code up down here or something. Pow, pow. QR
there
code.
You go.
We'll leave it there for all the kids. They like those QR codes, right?
I think so. Skibbity.
Yeah. No, Boomer was telling me about the fact that they're going to have another limited 6 comic series run of the same universe come out here in the next year. So I'm so looking forward to that because this is such a rich world. Batman is a knight. Of course, he's the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight, yeah.
Right, that's what he is. He's a knight, and Harley Quinn is a jester of the court, which you would think she's full of jokes, and she is. She has jokes, but she's also the king's most trusted advisor. She knows, everybody in the kingdoms. The Lady of the Forest, who you can pretty much guess who that is. It's Poison Ivy. The way they've reimagined and reintroduced all of these different characters into this medieval world is just fantastic. Amanda Waller is there. She's the general of the armies. It's just such a good reimagining. I can't spoil it for you. I won't spoil it for you. You need to read it. That's the AB's lock of the week or pick of the day or whatever you want to call it. But that is a comic book series that I would highly, 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 highly recommend. That's 4 highlies for those of you out there counting.
Can you hold that up again so we can see the covers?
4 high. Oh, the covers, yes. Yeah. The Dark Knights of Steel Volume 1 in the front and Volume 2 in behind. So you've got Volume 1 with Lara and Jor-El. You've got Batman as the knight. You've got young Clark, and you've got Harley Quinn down there. Who is this other fellow over here? I got my blind referee glasses on. I can't really see that well. So I don't know who that is, but I'm trying to see it through the lens of the camera. But this one is pretty cool. You've got Detective Chimp makes an appearance in there. Yeah, so I mean, there's a whole bunch of the Metal Men make an appearance in here.
Oh, see, you just sold me on it since they're
right?
my Metal Men. It's after Superman, so
right. So I mean, your Wonder Woman is fantastic in this. The Amazon's Lois is great in this. You can get a good picture of the Trinity there, and of course, Alfred plays a unique role in this comic, and I won't spoil that either. But let's just say it's worth reading. Anyways, that's as much as I've got for that comic. I'm done gushing over it, unless you guys have questions on it. But highly
was that a book? It looked thicker than normal, or was it just a regular comic book, or was it like
these are books?
That's a trade paperback right
Yeah,
there.
these are, well, this one's paperback. This one's not out on paperback yet.
Oh, it's a hardback. Okay.
This is hardcover. The paperback for this won't be out until December.
Okay.
And so that was part of the thing. When I bought this, I thought, oh yeah, I'll just get the next paperback when it comes out, because that's what I've been doing. I've been buying the paperbacks, used books.
You're like, nope,
like
$50.
I'm like, no, I have to get the freaking hardcover to read the end of this book. Oh, anyway,
you could again check, your private messages and go back a little bit in our history, and I think you'll find another tool by which you can read some comics.
Yeah, I need a better reader than what I've got.
Okay, gotcha.
Before I get into that kind of mess. But anywho, that's shop for me today. Let's get into our big topic of the day, which I really hope there was going to be more folks that showed up today for this thing, but maybe we'll catch them in the meantime. I had an assignment for you guys, and that assignment was, I want your favorite, the best and worst DC villains in all of television, all of DC television, to include live action, animated, shorts, streaming, whatever you can think of, as long as it didn't happen in a film, in a movie, then, and that includes animated movies too. But yeah, your best and worst. And I think what I'd like to do is take it around, and I want to start with Mr. Biff. I want to get our worst out of the way, and then we'll do our best. How about that?
Okay, so worst. This villain, when I got this assignment, I was pretty sure, because this one was, when you Googled it, I didn't get as many lists. I didn't get a lot of the TV villains. I didn't get a lot of lists of that. So yeah. I kind of had to start from scratch, and I just figured right away I knew what TV shows both were going to come from right away. And as far as the worst goes, I will give it to, I knew it had to come from CW's The Flash. That's what I knew it had to.
Oh.
So I started my search there.
Right.
And I'm going to give this villain the worst award. And I believe this villain may have started the downfall of the show in season 3. And I'm going to give it to the Music Meister.
The Music Meister.
The Music Meister, who hypnotized a crossover episode of Supergirl and The Flash.
Yeah.
Assuming their powers as they were forced to play out a movie musical on the episode.
And you know why that was, Biff, right?
I don't know why it was, and I don't want to know.
Well, Grant Gustin and what's her name were both on Glee. So like there was the team of Glee folks came in and did that musical episode, I believe is how that worked. Or they at least used them, and that's why they always have Grant Gustin singing every opportunity they could on The Flash, because he's a hell of a singer because he was on Glee.
Well, there you have it. The downfall of The Flash began with the Music Meister.
And Glee.
Began with Glee.
It was Glee.
By the way, we've already talked more musicals in this episode than we have in every other episode combined.
That's because Witty's not here to rein us in.
Right. By the way, I'm really missing Witty. I wish she was here. I need my lawn mowed.
I thought that was DCL Junk was coming to mow your lawn.
Oh, either one. I mean, it needs done again. So
fair. Really? With this heat, it's been growing. I haven't done mine in almost 2 weeks, and it kind of is at the point where it needs it, but it's been so hot and like dry, it hasn't grown.
It's been raining here all the time. It rained for a solid week last week. So it's all just sprouted right up.
Now, we've just been sitting under this historic heat dome up in the Northeast. So I don't know. It's been hot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here comes Retpmus in to join the fun, into join the parade.
It's the asterisk Retpmus enters the chat.
That he does. Well, hey, pal, how are you today? Or
a second.
He's stuck. He's stuck in between the fabric of cyberspace. I don't know where he's at.
You know what? I blame Glee.
Yeah, Glee did it again.
Sons of bitches.
We'll let Retmus get his microphone situation fixed out.
He works on that. I'm gonna do a brisk product placement. That's brisk, baby.
I couldn't see the label, so I don't know.
Oh shit! There we go. Brisk.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Brisk fruit punch.
Boy, I always try to debrand and hold the label facing out so nobody sees.
Oh, I thought we were going for sponsors.
Well,
Can you hear me now?
Sure. Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. I don't know what was going on. Sorry about that.
You're good, man. You are good.
Overslept.
Oh, it's all good.
Dude. I called it. I told them you were coding stuff until like 10 o'clock and then decided to take a nap. Don't sleep. You just code and then take naps.
Yeah, I actually I did wake up at 9 and I was just like I looked over and my wife was still sleeping too, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna sleep a little bit longer. And the next thing I know, my wife's like, what time's your show? And I was like, it's noon. She's like, you're late. And I was like, oh crap.
That's okay. We've been talking about musicals and kind of delaying things until you got here. That was our play, and it totally works.
And then my the worst TV villain, the first one we've gone through, was also of a musical theme. The Music Meister from the CW's The Flash, which I believe he single-handedly started the downfall of that series.
That is
assessment.
That is a good assessment. You're right, Sekju. I would say that. So with that knowledge in hand, Retmus, I'm going to pick on you next because it's fun. I want to get your groggy thoughts.
Okay.
On who is the worst DC TV villain of all time.
So we're just giving one today, and that's it.
Today, one and done.
Oh crap, that's a hard one to choose because I had quite a few.
You can give some honorable mentions.
Do you love me some honorable mentions? I have several.
Well,
you guys have a real hard problem picking just one. Like that's the assignment. I don't want
because this is America, freedom.
Let's go with
freedom. Don't matter here, man.
All right, let's go with Savitar from The Flash.
Savitar.
Really?
Wow, yes,
okay.
and the reason I'm going to say that is it's not Savitar.
That's fair.
Yeah,
they did not use the real character that exists. They turned it into an alternate version of Barry Allen. They just use it as a name and tried to pan it off as, you know, the true character, the God of Speed. It was kind of cool at first when we first, the character was well done throughout the story arc. I mean, it was a good character, but it would be like taking a character that everybody knows, but everybody didn't know him. So that's why they got away with it. But think of it like they brought in a character that everybody knew. And then it turns out that it had nothing to do with that character whatsoever. They just used the name just so they could have a name recognition for other people that are fans. And that's what I felt like they did with Savitar, because if anybody knows anything about him, that is not Savitar at all. It was just a namesake. And then it's like a super suit that's like this mechanical device and everything. They should have just called it something else. And I think they were just drawing for straws.
You know what it feels like, Retmus? It feels like somebody suggested Savitar and they're like, oh yeah, that sounds like a cool name. And then they looked at the comics and they're like, oh, we can't put that on screen.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah,
like cool name, cool concept. We don't have. I mean, Randy Savage is too old to play this character.
True.
He's passed.
Yeah, he's not. He's no longer with us.
But
so
was
he's
he
definitely?
Was he at the time of Savitar though? That was a while back.
He was already gone by then.
Okay, I don't know. I didn't know when he died. I know it was a while ago.
Yeah. AB made me watch a documentary on it. Fucking bummed me out.
That is disappointing.
I'm going to make you watch more than one documentary, Biff.
No, but I started that series that you talked up so much, and I got to the first episode, and it was the heartbreak of Miss Elizabeth and Randy Savage, and I went to bed like sad that night. I'm like, I don't like to bum myself out like this.
Uh,
I randomly stumbled into a documentary on Luna Vachon and like her whole career and stuff like that.
Right.
That was really good. I was like, this is a good documentary, and I don't normally watch stuff like that.
Yeah, that was Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah. Good stuff.
And that's the series that I was telling Biff to check out, because once you power through the first season, and yes, Biff, the first season is very depressing. But yeah, but it's supposed to be. I mean, I don't know how else to get
It's the
around
dark
it.
side of the ring.
Dark side of the ring.
Not the
It's not
sunny
called
side.
fluffy side of the ring.
Yeah,
But
but I watched that one you told me to watch too. The plane ride from hell.
oh, did you finally watch that one?
I did, and it once
Oh.
again, it just fucking bummed me out.
Right.
well,
All
it
right.
sounds like
Rick-
you're just a bummer.
No,
AB.
they make Ric
No, I'm
Flair
talking about
do it.
AB. He's being a bummer. I mean, hey, here, watch
Yeah.
this. It's great.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it just paints all these people that you view
Don't take
as
my recommendations.
Oh, I'm gonna go
Um,
check that out. I mean, if you're telling me it's possibly better than my two favorite Elseworlds, it's getting read.
Yeah.
Possibly today.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, Biff. What were you saying?
Sorry, I didn't mean to
no,
cut you off.
they bummed me out. They just painted some of these guys as just such assholes.
Yeah.
These guys that I grew up like loving to cheer for, and now they're fucking dickheads in real life.
So I would love to talk to you about that on ABW.
Yeah.
So we'll shelve this discussion
Okay.
because I really wanted to talk to you about this for the longest time.
Yeah.
So,
My bad for mentioning Randy Savage looking like
oh no, it's all good.
Well,
It's
he
all
kind
good.
of did. He
Yeah,
kind
I
of
know.
does
I
look
mean,
like
you
the
can-
original. Yeah.
You can do a casting call for Randy Savage all you want. He's just
yeah,
not
he's
going to
not showing
respond.
up. Yep.
Yeah. Oh boy. So I can totally get with Savitar. I'm totally down with that. I think that's a hell of a choice, but I want to hear what Sekju has to say on the subject, because so far we've gotten 2 Flash villains.
And I got an honorable mention after that.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't want to say honorable mention in case it is Sekju. So
Okay.
well, I like the reasoning behind Biff's that was the downfall of the Flash. I like the reasoning behind Retpmus's, in that the character wasn't necessarily bad, but it wasn't the actual character. I have a different one that I decided to go with, and that's going to be Dr. Light from the Titans show that originally started, on streamers, eventually came on TNT.
right.
And there's a reason for that. Number one, that was a terrible portrayal of Dr. Light. That's not the actor's fault. I just don't think they gave him much to work with because he was just a bit of a side character.
Mhm.
And I feel like they really shoehorned him into that whole storyline just as an homage to the Identity Crisis storyline, where Dr. Light goes to Deathstroke in order to get help, because all the, superheroes think he's responsible for murdering the elongated man's wife. So it's like a big fucking deal. They're all going after him, and Deathstroke protects him. And this one, he's just a throwaway character. He doesn't look anything like Dr. Light. He doesn't act anything like Dr. Light. And he just dies for no, functional use, really, for the story. So it's just kind of like a throwaway for a character that the Teen Titans historically used to fight a lot and beat up a lot, was Dr. Light. So I don't know. It's just, to me, it was a complete waste of a character. And it was annoying to me because I knew what they were going for there. They were trying to make people who read the comics think of that particular story, but it just wasn't anything like it. So screw that Dr. Light.
Yeah. Screw that Dr. Light.
And nothing against the actor or anything either. It was literally just the way it was written and portrayed in
yeah.
that story. He was just such a throwaway villain for them that they just didn't give him anything to really do.
Yeah, none of these, by the way, we're talking about are bad because the actor was bad. We're nothing against the actor who played them. I think it's the characterization of the character that was written for them and the direction they were given.
Yeah,
Right.
I just said portrayal, so I wanted to make sure
Right.
it's clear that it wasn't the actor, that it was more so what they were given to work with.
Yeah. Retpmus, what was your honorable mention?
Okay. I like the actor, but the character he was given was probably one of the worst portrayals. It probably should have been my number one, actually. Now I'm more I think about it. And that would be Doomsday for Smallville.
Oh yeah, that was bad. I thought about that one too, Retmus. That was on my my alternates list.
Yeah, because I think the actor's Sam Witwer.
Yes.
Yeah. I really like that actor. I mean, I loved him. Oh shoot, what was the other series? There's been a few series I've really liked him in. I mean, later on he was actually in the Flash, and he had the mask that he wore to cause an uprising with all the other people that were going like against like the metahumans and stuff. I don't remember his name in the Flash, but there's shoot, I don't know. I'm still sleepy. I can't think.
Was he the one that played the Sons of Liberty leader?
Yes,
Is
yes,
that what you're thinking of?
yes.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
He was on
exactly.
something else though too, because he was popular on something else at the same time.
Oh,
as Smallville.
well,
And I'm blanking on what that was.
he's been in quite a few different shows. He was in it was in Supergirls, where he was in that as
Yeah,
that
the mask
role.
thing. That's what I thought of it. Yeah.
But I remember watching him in Being Human, the American version of Being Human, because there's been two stories. One, the British version, and then we made an American version of the same story, but with different actors and a little bit different spin on it.
Mhm.
And he was a vampire in that one, and he did a very good job on that. He was in Once Upon a Time. I remember him in Once Upon a Time, and actually, there's been a couple other shows, and I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, I mean, he's not a bad actor. He's really good in the roles that he plays. But Doomsday was just freaking horrible. It was just horrible in Smallville.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. I actually had a couple of Smallville villains picked out myself, and he was one of them. But they did not make the worst list for me. I think I'm going to be on par with Biff and Retmus on this one. I'm going back to the Flash TV series, and I'm going to say Mirror Master. For whatever it was worth, I don't understand why they changed the character so radically and yet still didn't give her anything to do. I mean, Mirror Master is one of, if not, well, not the best, one of the best characters in all of Flash. How do you stop the Mirror Master? You smash him when he's in a mirror? I don't know. How do you stop the Mirror Master? But I just didn't like Mirror Master and Top even as a team. Top was tolerable, but Mirror Master just wasn't. I would have swapped the two of them out, those two actors and the different characters. I would have made the actor who played Top into Mirror Master and vice versa.
But was it on the Flash though? It started off with the original Mirror Master. Well, I think it was on season 3, and that was Sam Scudder.
Was it?
And he was killed, and then his girlfriend became Mirror Master in season 6, and that was what was bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But
yeah, okay,
Christmas.
Gotcha. Because I like Mirror Master. I always thought he was a really cool character.
And then that's what AB's complaining about.
Yeah,
right. And they fucking wasted him.
In Batman Brave and the Bold, they made him dumb. They were like, he was like, "Duh, I'm Mirror Master," and he actually was talking like that. And I'm just like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they made him really dumb like that. I'm not kidding.
They never get the rogues right outside. Like when they use the rogues and other heroes' stories from the Flash, like lexicon of villains, they never get them right. They're always just portrayed completely back-asswards.
I would say there's an exception to that, and that's the Trickster. And I think that's because Mark Hamill decides he's going to play that role.
I mean, Mark Hamill kind of made that his role, but again, that was on the Flash, so he did it on the Flash as part of a Flash show. I'm saying whenever they use those characters, like in a Batman story, outside of the Flash universe, they're made stupid or made to be like joke characters that like Batman would struggle with every single one of the Flash's villains, but they're made to be a joke character to elevate Batman, which is fine because Batman's top 3. But
that's an interesting point because in the beginning of Doom, and I only know this because I watched it recently, Mirror Master, the way he gets into the Batcave is he sneaks into the rearview mirror of the Batmobile.
Right.
And he's not incompetent there. He actually achieves his goal.
Well, but again, what movie was that one again?
Doom. It was the animated movie.
Doom. So it's a Justice League one. It's still you'd still have the Flash as like one of the main characters in that though too. So again, I'm saying like when in Brave and the Bold, the Flash isn't a main character in that one. Isn't it Superman and Batman? Or is that the Flash and Green Arrow show? I can't remember because they've done that with Flash and Green Arrow and Green Lantern too, the Brave and the Bold, haven't they?
Yeah, I think so, but I've not watched all of the Brave and Bold, so I couldn't honestly tell you.
I just always thought the animated show was more of a Batman Superman focus on the Brave and the Bold, but I could be wrong because I know that the comics Brave and the Bold, they used to like do different duos through the
I
comics.
think that's what it is. It's Batman plus Plastic Man and plus
Yeah, it's
Green Arrow.
Batman team ups. Every
Yeah.
episode
Okay.
was Batman in a team up.
Yeah.
Anyway, they
I-
they do the rogues dirty a lot of the time outside
Yeah.
of Flash mythos. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
they
more
do.
the more you think about it, it was like a lot of these shows are just using it for name recognition of a character they just created off the fly and like, oh, who should we call this character? And they're like, oh, here's a hat of all the characters that are lesser known that nobody knows about, but they might know the name.
right.
And that's what it seems like they kind of do because sometimes they just do not match at all.
But I totally get your angst with what they did with your
Yeah, yeah. That's, I mean, I could go, 100 different ways with it, but that was my, first thought was, how could they ruin Mirror Master and get so many of the other rogues, right? Captain Cold and all the
They
all-
did the same thing to him in DC Legends, man. He was so cool at the beginning when he would just do his AoE attack and just wipe the floor with everybody. And then they nerfed him.
That's one way to put it. Yes.
Yep.
So what I'll do is I'll go around really quick and I will tell you, since I'm already on the mic, I will tell you what my favorite DC comic book television portrayal of a villain was. And I picked this person because I think they were a great big bad for not one, but two DC television series. And that is the Reverse Flash from The Flash.
Oh, yeah.
Villain for The Flash, and that several times over. He was also the main villain for Legends of Tomorrow in What Point. So, and he was great. He's great either way. He's great whether he's played by, what is that guy's name?
Tom Cavanaugh.
Tom Cavanaugh, or who's the other guy? Oh,
Matt something.
you're right.
Matt
You're
something
right.
with an E.
Yes, yeah.
Like,
What was that?
I said it's Matt something with an E, I think. I can't remember his name. Or no, L. Like it's like Matt Leinart or Matt Leonard or something like that. Or
Something like that. Anyways,
I'll look it up. I have the
both
Google.
of them, because you think about it. Matt Leonard or whatever his name is had to follow Tom Cavanaugh's performance, and not only did it work, he did it just as good. I thought. What a complex and motivated villain.
Yeah. Matt
Reverse Flash.
Lesher. Matt Lesher.
Yeah.
Matt Lesher. Yes.
Oh, by the way, Sam Whitmer was on Dexter. That's where I was.
Yeah, that's right. He was. I remember that.
That's because that's what he was on right before Smallville, and I was like, oh, that guy.
Yeah. I did have a couple of names that I wanted to mention that I thought were really great that I don't know were going to get mentioned. But the next one up for me was Tobias Whale on Black Lightning.
That was a good villain
He
portrayal.
was an imposing figure in a real way. Because
I
he didn't
liked
have
him.
superpowers. Yeah. He didn't have superpowers. And yet, at the same time, he was still a real threat and a real legitimate menace. Pushing drugs to the kids. Fucking idiot. Anyways, I liked him as the bad guy. I liked his portrayal of that. And if I had to give a nod to anybody else, it'd be Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville as Lex Luthor.
You're taking people's options away, man.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I know.
Those are just my honorable mentions.
None of those are mine, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there.
All right.
Yeah.
But anyways, those are who I would pick as like my top ones, without going into a lot of detail on the latter two because they're not actual picks. That's my first one, which is
And I really like that actor. Marvin Jones is the actor that plays it. He goes by, I think, Crondon is like his stage name or whatever. But I thought he did a really good job as playing Tobias. Just the way he portrayed the character.
Yeah.
Because it was just like he gave emotion to the character, but he was able to deliver a lot of things like in a monotone, like I'm unfeeling, this is the way it's going to be, but you could see the emotion behind his eyes. I mean, if that kind of makes sense to you guys, if you get
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying, it was
Oh,
just like,
absolutely.
it was like he was putting on a facade to show everybody else, like, I'm cold-hearted type character. But actually, that actor was actually in Halo. Uh, Recently. He plays a character that is blind, but he what used to be one of those super soldiers you like that fights along with the Spartans, that with Master Chief and everybody, but he became blind or whatever, and he was no longer part of it. And he was a really good actor in that. If you ever get a chance, check out Halo. It doesn't follow the video game exactly. It's like its own story, but it's very well done.
Thought season 2 was a big improvement on season 1.
Yes,
The
yes,
end battle of season 1, I thought they felt like that was going to be much more epic than it actually played out to be.
right.
But I'm a big Halo fan, and
Hmm.
while I do see some of the criticisms a lot of people have levied against the show, I enjoy it overall.
I do too. I don't watch it because I'm like, oh, this is the video game come to life. I
Right.
like it because it's like, oh, it's using that type of universe with these characters and they have these abilities. It's kind of like an Elseworld type story to me.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Well, you
and
can't do the exact same story because everybody's seen that story play out in the
right.
games if you followed the game. So,
And that's what I never understood. I mean, yeah, I mean, we all complain because the characters we know in these shows are completely changed and horrible. But there's a reason behind it, because they have a base. We all know this character as this. So you need to like at least base your character around that, not just use the name and completely disregard that. And that's what I think will make people just, not like the character portrayal that they do in the show. And that's why we're coming off with like, well, this is horrible because of this and this, because they just disregard the whole character in general.
well, I think a lot of the issues people are having can also be traced back to like The Mandalorian, where people are complaining that one of the big issues with that show was that they wanted to get more face time for the actors that are traditionally always wearing helmets or always having their faces covered up. So the same thing was happening with the Master Chief actor, that they were like, okay, with like, why are we seeing his face all the time? You don't see his face until the end of like what, the 5th game? So I think that was a major complaint. But again, it's like fanboy ticky-tacky bullshit. Like, this is a TV show. An actor's going to want to be recognized for the work they're doing. Get the fuck over it. I don't know.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So that's my pick. Let me see about. I'll take you. I'll go all the way around again. I'll start with Sekju. What is your next? What is
My best?
your best? Yeah, give us your
I
favorite.
I think I'm going to go with the obvious one here. At least to me, it's obvious. I still think that Arrow season 2 is some of the best superhero television we've ever had, and Manu Bennett's Deathstroke, I think, is like one of the best villains we've ever had, if not possibly the best. So that's what I'm going to go with. His portrayal was great. The stakes were there. The drama was there. People widely compare Arrow's season 2 to like the more serious Marvel stuff that was popular, like Daredevil season 1. I
Yeah.
still think Daredevil season 1's a little bit better, but
Mhm.
again, Arrow season 2 was just probably the best season of Arrow, in my opinion, too, and one of the best seasons of any CW show that's existed.
I can get by that. I thought Deathstroke was fantastic myself. Just the way he was executed, the way he was played. He was a rival in more ways than one, if I remember right. He was a businessman,
Yep,
rival
he
to
was
Ali
doing it
as
all.
well. He did it all. So, well done, villain. Couldn't agree more.
I agree on season 2 of Arrow. It's
Yeah.
tremendous.
Yeah. All right, Retmus, what is your favorite DC comic book TV villain?
Mine's actually a tie. And it's so hard for me to choose between the two, and it's both from the same exact show. And I have to mention them both because I could not decide between the two. And every time I thought, I was like, well, maybe him. No, well, no. And I just couldn't decide. So you're getting them both. Sorry. I'm being a rebel. All right. First, Oswald Cobblepot from Gotham. I absolutely loved the portrayal of the early version of Penguin, how he fought through the handicap that he had in life and rose as a nobody to become one of the most powerful crime bosses that that existed. Excuse me. I thought the actor did a fantastic job. They kind of stayed true to the roots, but also gave more backstory and created some other stuff to give the character depth that did not take away from the character. Because a lot of the characters, as we all know, were completely changed, for the story. But I just thought they did it very, very well. And the second has to go to the early version of the Riddler, Edward Nygma. The actor, spectacular. The way that his mind starts twisting because he is a genius. He really is. And just the actor's name was Corey Smith. He just did such a fantastic portrayal. And really, I don't really think it was the character themselves. I just think it was the actors that made those characters stand out to me and make me think, man, these characters are cool. So it was the actors that made that character, not the characters themselves, but that's what made me like the character because of them.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what, Gotham was very well cast. Very well cast.
Yeah.
So those are my choices. Yes.
And underrated because as Rhett said, like a lot of the villains in Gotham are tremendous. Absolutely tremendous.
Yeah.
So I couldn't choose between those two because I think they both did such a fantastic job, and those characters stand out because I can still, in my head when I think of like supervillains, they just pop into my head because, the diabolical little things that they do behind people's backs, in the way.
And I think those two are intrinsically linked throughout the series anyway.
Right.
So, yeah, it's going to be hard to come up with, a pick between either one of those two. I agree.
Yeah, and Edward Nygma in that show, the actor did such a brilliant job of presenting himself as a genius, as awkward, and as confident. Like he did such a good job contrasting between two opposites.
Mm-hmm.
The awkwardness of Edward Nygma and the confidence because he was so brilliant. And I think he did a really great job.
Yeah,
I agree, definitely.
No dispute here. I think those are both great picks, but I'm going to turn it over to our good buddy Biff, who I don't want to predict what's your favorite DC villain of all.
Well,
time.
I didn't do. I favorite would have been easy,
right?
But I really did best.
Okay.
And when I did best, I came up right away. Second, you gave the assignment, wrote it down, done. Then, a couple days ago, I put in a couple of DVDs of Batman 66 and watched a couple of episodes. And I flipped. Okay, because this actor's portrayal of this villain was so fucking good. Like the way he talked to his goons, the way he talked to his lady friend, and his absolute, although Batman 66 was very goofy in a way, right? A lot of the villains were very goofy.
Yeah.
This villain fucking hated Batman and was so angry with him. And his anger went around to all the people around him, and the way he portrayed this character was so good. And it turned my favorite into the best, which is Victor Buono's portrayal of King Tut. Please, that show circles around the four villains of the Joker, the Riddler, the Penguin, and Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
But what you don't realize is is King Tut is number 5 as far as number of appearances. He was in 8 episodes. So those 4 dominate and probably, you know, been in more than 15 each or whatever the case may be. But he's the 5th most prominent. And just when you just watch him play that part, he's just perfect. But my original thought, and we've talked about this on all of our best movie portrayals and everything of how many great Jokers we've had. But a close second, Cesar Romero's Joker in Batman 66 was just iconic. And he was my original thought that it was going to be Cesar Romero, and I wasn't until I went and watched about 4 episodes of Victor Bueno the other day. I so appreciated his portrayal, and it's just so fun, but angry. And just that show is great of how the interactions between the villain and the goons is a lot of fun. And Victor Bueno nailed it.
Honestly, that's who I thought you were going to say.
Yeah. No, and I, you know, those 2 for me are the top 2. Like, but it wasn't until really just watching him like very closely and just paying attention. One day I was bored and I just said, I'm going to, you know, take in 4 episodes in a row here.
Okay.
And he just captivates the screen.
Well, see, that's kind of like what I was talking about. It really, it isn't the villain itself. It really comes down to the actor portrayal of that villain. And if they are given bad scripts or bad writing, then it makes the character bad. And we just think of the character being bad, and it's not always the case. I mean, these are like perfect examples, you know, that kind of like what we've given, like our worst and our best. I mean, it's not the villain itself. Like, we just take it by comic book, then Doomsday would definitely not be my choice or one of my choices, because Doomsday's badass in the comics, right? So really, we're kind of like giving our opinions based off of the actor and writing of the TV show, not the villain himself. Do you guys agree with that or disagree?
The actor still has to portray them.
Right, but they have to portray them how it's given to them.
Well,
unless it's just bad
to
acting.
a point. Yeah, to a point. Yeah. I mean, the director can only make him do so much, you know?
Right.
But yeah.
But that's like with
And if
King
you-
Tut, he did, I mean, it's such a fantastic job of the villain. I like Biff was saying, I love his interaction between him and his minions. I mean, it's fantastic. He did such a great job. And I liked every single one of those episodes, and they stand out to me because when I think of Batman, 66 and like the villains, a lot of the main villains like, Joker, Penguin, Catwoman, all those are going to come to everybody's mind because they're in most of the episodes, right? But King Tut stands out a lot in my mind, not because Biff mentions them a lot. It's just because they're memorable stories and they're very well done. And it's because the actor did a fantastic job.
Yeah. And they also in Batman 66, they also had some bad villains too. They tried to force the famous people, in there, like Milton Berle's portrayal of Louis the Lilac was not in the running for my number 1 TV villain by any stretch. Or Ethel Merman,
Vincent Price.
Egghead was good.
Egghead, okay.
And by the way, why Vincent Price's portrayal of Egghead was good is he was brought back. That wasn't a one-time shot.
Oh, okay.
Ethel Merman as Lola Lasagna, that was a one-shot deal. Lady Penelope Pea Soup was a one-shot deal. But like Egghead, he came back. He had 2 or 3 episodes. I'm not sure. Yeah, they did try to force feed the famous people. I mean, Liberace was a villain in Batman 66, but
was he the Music Meister?
he was not the music meister,
Missed opportunity.
I know, right?
but he was a piano playing villain.
Oh.
That was a womanizer. He basically he womanized Aunt Harriet
That's
to get to Bruce Wayne's money.
Kind of funny coming from Liberace.
Yeah.
Being a womanizer.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Anyways,
That's why they call it acting.
that's
Yep.
right.
Fair enough. Maybe we
That's
should give
right.
that portrayal more consideration.
Once again, it's back to the overarching theme of this episode: music.
Yep. It's been a very musically themed episode.
Yes.
Has been a very musical episode. And on that note, I want to take it around the room and get everybody's last word. And as always, we start with Retpmus. Give us your final say, buddy.
Oh, get sleep because you need it.
Yeah.
Even though you don't want to. I mean,
Function.
it's just, I don't know. It's just myself, personally. When it gets late at night, I look at the clock and I kind of feel sad because I know the day's over with, and it's time for bed. And there's so many things that are on my mind and I want to keep going. And I just don't, I feel like sleep is a waste. I mean, I know we need it. Yeah, we can't live without it. But
If I could offer you a suggestion, my friend,
yeah.
drugs and alcohol.
That
makes sleeping a lot easier and you'll think about it less.
Oh, I can tell you, there is not an end of a day that I feel like I need to do anything more.
Yeah.
I'm out like a light.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's what heals our body. It's what recuperates our systems and everything, but it's just, I don't know. Too many things in the world get in the way, and we all need to try and learn to let go. And I'm like the biggest example of that. I need to practice, what I preach. And I don't know. It kind of impairs you if you don't have enough sleep. And so that's why I have a hard time coming up with some things sometimes. But I don't know. I don't really have a positive message to give out today.
Take a nap, everyone. Take a fucking nap.
There's the
It's just it's so hard to prioritize time when we really don't have as much time as people think. And they're like, oh, this is just a time waster. And it's like, there's so many things you can do with your life. It's just what you're choosing to do. So when you're sitting back and you're thinking, like, there's a lot of times when I was younger or whatever, I'm like, man, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. Or, nothing's on TV, and then as you get a little bit older and you do have things that you like to do or things that you're trying to accomplish, then it seems like you never have enough time. And so it's just like, whenever you get in situations like that and you're thinking like, I'm bored or there's nothing to do, nothing good on the air or, on TV or, anything to watch, find a hobby or something, look around and like do some web searches or something like, like what are the most popular hobbies or something and try a few of them out, see if you like them. And you never know, you might find some type of passion that you never knew that you would enjoy. And it just becomes so awesome to you that you just become enveloped in it and you just want to do it. And then you'll never be wasting time and you'll be able to enjoy life a little bit more. So.
See, he slipped into something inspirational by accident.
Yeah,
Can't help himself.
Do what you love. Spend your time doing stuff you love. I recently left the corporate world and, just focused on doing things that I think matter. And you get a lot of joy out of that.
Agreed.
Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you, Retmus. That is a hell of a message to give off to the rest of the world. But since Biff has piped up,
Yeah.
I want to get his last word. Biff, take it away, pal.
Well, Retmus, tying back to what you just said, just one thing I found is I've been working really, really hard at a few different things in my life, and I got to a very uncomfortable weight, and I've lost 25 pounds. I feel so much better. My back feels better because of not carrying all that weight. But also, when you do work that hard, and Retpmus, when you do have those days where you feel like you didn't get enough accomplished, or that you don't have enough time to get to everything you want to get to, don't be afraid to reward yourself. You know, I hit a goal, a weight goal that I was shooting for by August 1st that I hit already. And you know what? I went straight out and got some hot chicken smothered in macaroni and cheese, and just said, you know what? I'm going to give myself a treat for working my tail off and for doing things, you know, working hard and being strict with myself and being strict with my time, my energy, my everything. But don't be afraid just to say, hey, you know what? Give yourself a high five.
Nice. Congratulations, everybody.
Yeah, I'd agree. Was that all
Hot
you had
chicken.
to-
Hot chicken was serious.
Was that all you had to say? Was hot
We
chicken?
saw pictures. It looked serious.
I went two from the top. Okay, so I didn't go. I never go the end one, like the last one, because that's like the one where you have to sign like a fucking waiver or something. I always think that's
on those ones.
that's well, no, I mean, I think they're just I think those ones that are at the top, other than the wing place around my house, I can go all the way to the top. But hot chicken, go to Nashville, you go to Hattie B's in Nashville, they take that top one seriously. Like they don't want you to finish that one. So yeah, I went two from the top on this one, and I think I can go one from the top next time in this local place that I just found.
Nice.
It was hot, but it wasn't, you know, beads of sweat down my forehead hot.
So chicken is the word of the day for you then, Biff?
Hot chicken.
Hot chicken.
Hot chicken.
Go to Nashville. Get yourself some hot chicken.
I've never been to Nashville.
Nashville is my favorite U.S. city.
Ah, there you go.
I
Good
go
old
once a year.
You what now?
I go every year.
You go every year to Nashville to do what?
Have chicken.
Have chicken?
Get hot chicken? No, I go to Nashville every year that my hockey team plays there.
Ah, okay.
Because I have such a fun time in Nashville. I'm not even a country music guy, but the Broadway, the main drag in Nashville. If you like drinking and eating, and I'm not even a big music guy, but you like drinking and eating, Broadway, Nashville.
Yeah.
Legit. Nice people. You know, like you can actually cheer for your team on the road, like without getting, you know, a fucking knuckle sandwich at, you know, with New England fans like here. No, it's fun. Nashville's awesome.
I'll have to
Once
go.
again, hey, by the way, musical theme.
Nashville.
Nashville. There
I
you
end
go.
on Nashville.
Music City.
Music City. What is this? We keep coming back to music.
I know. Well, is that all you had to say today, Biff?
That's it.
All right.
That was a lot.
It was a lot.
I
but,
gave,
you know,
I gave inspiration, hot chicken, and tied it back to musicals again.
I know. Well, let's see if we can keep that momentum going. And Sekju, I'm going to leave you with the last word today, pal.
Boy, is that a mistake. No, I don't have anything inspirational for anybody. Just, you know, enjoy your weekends, enjoy your time. When you find yourself, as Retpmus said, looking for something to do, you know, don't forget to spend it with the people that matter to you if you have an opportunity to do that, because you never know when those opportunities aren't going to be there. So, you know, don't waste time, as the gentleman said before. Like, you know, do the things that you love with the people you love, and make use of your time instead of lamenting that you're bored then there's nothing to do. I mean, if you're of age and you have a car, there's always something you can go do. So figure it out.
Yeah. The mall is always open these days.
Well, it's not necessarily the mall, but I mean, you can go somewhere and do something. Go to the library. They have lots of books. There's stuff there to learn, or Google, or, watch some YouTube videos and learn how to fix something.
Have you ever
Huh?
used a computer in the library before?
I have not.
Oh, that's a process.
No, the only thing I've gone to the library anytime recently for is my son got a library card to the local one, and I wanted to encourage him to be a fan of the library, so we went there, and I was like, I can get all of this stuff at home now. What am I doing
Yeah,
here?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so, I
I
don't know.
think I had to use the public library to print off. This was a while back too. This was years ago, but I didn't have a printer, and I knew the library has a printer, and I
Well,
needed
hey,
to print something off.
well,
And
and libraries are important, man. Not everybody has the same resources at home, too. Like
yeah,
you just
yeah,
said, like at printers, especially like my printer, I use it maybe once a year, and that fucker never works when I need it to work. Like all I want to do is print my driver's registration card, you dirty motherfucker. Just let
I
me print, and it will never work. So yeah, the public library's got its uses, and not everybody, has the same resources. So it's good that they're out there for people to go use them.
You know what else you can find at the public library? Music.
There you go. You know what else they probably have there? The Greatest Showman soundtrack. You should go check it out.
I should check that out. I should check that out. Back in the day, this is going to be embarrassing because I'm going to reveal that I'm somewhat of a criminal here.
Uh-oh.
Back in the day, way back when I had no printer, I also figured out that I could go to the library and check out music CDs and come home and rip them to my computer and thusly not have to pay for CDs. I still have tons of records in my iTunes library from the library's past.
Well, but did you share those files with anyone? Like, did you put
Oh,
them on
those are my
Napster or
files.
anything? Well, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
those are my files.
As long as you weren't file sharing, I don't know. Is there a rule against like ripping something?
I don't know. But I feel criminal for doing it. Like I ripped
Because
off.
how is that any different than you recording a song as it's playing on the radio and keeping your own cassette of it?
Well, I have a digital copy of the song and I didn't pay for the artist.
Again, you don't do that with the radio either, and you could have turned a cassette tape into a digital copy with all the format stuff we have now. Like you can put a cassette tape into a Bluetooth record player that has that deck and turn it into a digital file, and you didn't pay the artist for that either. So don't feel too bad.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to beat myself up over it.
As long as you weren't uploading it to Napster, those other things, and then costing them serious money, then you were not the problem.
Yeah.
And thank you, all you people out there who were the problem, for making my college a wonderful time.
Yeah. Good old Napster. Who could
Yep.
forget that?
And Morpheus.
LimeWire.
LimeWire, yeah.
LimeWire. Oh my Lord. I haven't heard of that in a long time. All right. Well, thank you guys for today's show. You've been very entertaining, but I think it's time to take it home. And we want to thank all of you for taking the time to be with us today. Get on our Discord and grab some cool swag from the merch store, talk directly with us, and then hit that subscribe button because you know you want to. For BIFF, for Retpmus, and for Sekju, we'll see you all right here next time for another fantastic episode of Atlantis After Dark. So long, everybody.